when I came back out of it, I did it properly, okay? I do it, and now I do more fruit than what Gabriel normally recommends. Yet there's a huge misconception about his diet. If you read his diet, it's actually got every type of fruit on the diet. He's got the durian, he's got the pineapple, he's got the mangoes, he's got the bananas. They're all on the diet. But it's been twisted out there that he says fruit's bad for you. He never says that. It's like if you read his book, if you look at his diet, it's in there. He just says, eat more of the low glycemic fruits and be sparingly with the high glycemic fruits. That's all he says. And now I'm doing that, whereas before I just went way over to the tropical fruits because I was having like 5-6 mangoes a day because they taste so darn good, And I was doing a lot of the agaves, and I was doing a lot of the salts, and I was just doing a lot of the I was doing a lot of the oils. I was thinking, just because it's like, flax oil, I can have like tons of it on my food and just douse everything with flax oil. And just because it's Himalayan or Celtic or pink sea salt, I can pour that on everything. And like Amber, when you first met me a year and a half ago, I was going hardcore on the salts, oils and salts. And so, so I was doing it wrong, but when I came off the diet on the second time, and I started connecting with all these raw food gurus, I started to learn about the soil, the oils and the salts and the sugars and the need for really reducing that. And so now where I've gotten my diet to the point is that I'm doing low fat, so I'm keeping the fat really low. So when I have fat, it's going to be avocados, it's going to be durians, it's going to be coconut, it's going to be seeds, nuts, and that's pretty much the only fat sources I'm getting. I don't eat any oils anymore, I don't have any salts anymore, and I don't have any sweeteners anymore. I don't do any of the agaves, the syrups, any of that, the honeys, the bee pollens, I don't do any of that. And if I am going to sweeten it, I'm going to sweeten it with some raisins or dates or figs. That's where the sweeteners going to come from. And often, I don't do any sweeteners at all. I was at Cafe Gratitude having some of Drew's beautiful food, and I get smoothies with no sweetener, and it still tastes just as great. Like if you're not addicted to the sweetener, you don't need the sweetener, and then you can really taste the food itself, and you can really get that food in you. So that's kind of where I've landed now. So it's low fat, raw vegan, SOS free, and I'm now exercising 6 to 7 days a week. I just spent a month in Kenya with the world's best runners, literally with the world's best runners. I got to interview 6 world champions for a video that I'm doing called What Makes a Champion. And I can't wait for this one to get edited, but it's What Makes a Champion, and we've got literally 6 world champions, their coaches, their trainers, their staff, talking about what makes a champion. And yes, they're runners, running athletes, but they're really talking about life. The lessons they're talking about and what makes a champion. Like Patrick McCow, who just broke the world record in the marathon. Is there any runners in the room? Runners? Okay, so I camped out for 2 weeks with Paula Radcliffe. I'm sitting there every day having food with Paula Radcliffe, and she's just I had no idea from what you see in the media how wonderful of a person she is, And so I'm with Paula Radcliffe and Patrick McCow, who just broke the world record for the men's marathon. He did a 2:03:38 marathon. Yesterday I went and did a half marathon in 2:03. He did his world. I wasn't a race pace, which is an easy half marathon, but he does a full marathon in 2:03. It's just amazing to me how fast these guys run. And so interviewing him and Mo Farah, I don't know if anybody knows Mo Farah. He's now my favorite runner in the world. He's world champion in 5,000, and he came second in 10,000. And mark my words, he's going to break the world record this year in 5,000. He's going to get a gold medal at the Olympics. I mean, this guy is just an amazing guy. And hung out with him for 2 weeks. And so there's just the content that came from these guys, and and the lessons are just so strong coming from them. It's hard work, it's perseverance. You got to do what you love. You got to love what you do. You diet, nutrition, you know, just consistency, all those things have nothing to do with sports, they have everything to do with life, you know? And like, you know, what is, you know, Paul Radcliffe's been running for 20 plus years, like, you know, why is she still giving her? You know, like what keeps her going? What's her passion? You know, and it was outstanding to me to learn. I mean, this is just a small little tidbit for the runners in the room. She told me up until like a month ago, she wasn't even wearing a watch when she trains or when she runs. She says it's illegal in the world races to wear a watch. So she didn't even train with a watch. And it's just like, that just like breaks all the conventional wisdom, you know, that everybody ever teaches about athletics or performance, is that you need a watch and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, again, there's life lessons there. We all think that these things are so important, but, you know, it's like, they're not. Okay, so enough about me. Oh yeah, let's talk about the website for a quick second, and then I'm going to get into a couple things. And then what I want to do is I want to do question and answer, so I don't spend the whole night just talking about, you know, whatever's in Jeff's head, because I can go on for hours. And there isn't hours of me talking on the internet anyway, so you can go see them if you really are interested. Okay, oh yeah, one more thing I want to say about the travel. Last year I did 120 airplanes in 10 countries. I crossed the ocean 5 times. And I did it all 100% raw vegan. I didn't get sick once. I didn't even have to take one day off. I didn't even have to cancel one meeting. And I did that all 100% raw vegan. And anybody can do it, right? I'm not saying it wasn't hard, okay? The way I did it, I had to do lots of sleep, tons of water. There's some herbs I'm taking for when I'm traveling. I definitely exercising all the time when I travel. I try to find chiropractic and massage when I travel. I've got like a stable of chiropractors all over the world that tune me up. I wear compression socks when I'm on the airplane. I put earplugs in my ears. I listen to music. The airplanes are when I edit my videos. I mean, that's when I get all the video editing done. I'll go on an overseas flight, edit 20 videos, and land and be good for a month. And I'm happy about that. So those are good things. But yeah, but most people find it very difficult to travel, and it is very difficult, and it's very tiring. And I landed here on Friday, and I'm still, you know, having trouble with my sleep. But I did it, 120 flights in 10 countries in 12 months, and you can do it too. You know, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you can do it, and you can stay healthy. I haven't been sick in more than 10 years. I haven't had a contact C, a Dristan, a Tylenol, a pharmaceutical in about 12 years. I haven't. If I go to the doctor, it's to beg them to give me a health, to give me like a urine blood test, because my doctor says I'm the healthiest person he's ever met in his 40 years of medicine. You know, and so yeah, so I don't know, like it can be done. There's this naturopathic person I'm working with up in Canada who does like colonics and massage and ear candling and iridology and all this stuff. She's also a personal trainer, fitness. She's wild actually. And she did this test on me to get my biological age. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. You got your biological age and you got your chronological age. And biologically I was tested 21 years younger than I actually am. And in her 30 years, she's never had anybody test that young. That spread. She's never had anybody, I think, will go over 12 years younger, and I was at 21. So I know what I'm doing is working. I know what I'm doing is working. My blood tests are virtually perfect. And I post my blood tests on my website too. And so if anybody wants to go see them, full disclosure, right? There's nothing, and that's one thing that I would challenge any particular person you're working with, doctor or healthcare professional, or somebody that's going to give you advice, or somebody's book you're going to read or videos you're going to watch. Ask them for their blood tests. If they're not willing to put their blood tests up on the internet for the world to see with scrutiny and transparency.